Hey everybody, I wanted to make this as kind of like an explanation video. I know that I've been making and posting a lot of content. It's really spamming you guys with everything, kind of explaining sort of what I'm doing here. This is a little bit different vibe compared to what I normally make, of course, but I feel like it's important for me to put this out here for everybody to kind of understand. But it's also important to me, right? It's important to the what I'm doing here. So it's just kind of like a little bit of a backstory for the people that may not know me, even though pretty much all the people that know me right now are people that I'm sharing this directly with that are watching it. But it's also important to me. It's important to, as like a reminder, right? This is essentially like a video journal of me being able to look back and see why I'm doing this and why I'm going to keep doing this and why I'm not going to give up. So as a little bit of a backstory, I live in Texas now, but I was working with a company up in Wyoming after I was laid off from the oil field, and they offered me a promotion where I moved from Wyoming down to Texas. I was making really good money. It's probably some of the best money I've ever made in my life was working in sales. I still work in sales as a sales manager. I was, unfortunately though, working usually 60 plus hours a week. That's kind of the name of the game in sales. If you're not there at the store, then you can't really sell, right? And I was a sales manager, so of course, if there was somebody there to sell, I also had to be there. And that's just kind of the name of the game. It's just the way things are. And I was about to get promoted again to an even higher sales manager position. And then right as that sale was on the horizon, right as that promotion was right there, it was kind of snatched away from me. And it hurt, of course. It wasn't obviously what I was looking for. I didn't want that to be taken from me, but sometimes life is what it is, and that caused me to try to like pull back and start reevaluating a lot of things in my life and what was important to me and what I was doing. And yeah, the money was really nice, but was that all that I was really doing for? And then I remembered my birthday in 8th grade. And when my mom asked me what I wanted for my birthday, I asked for a camera, because all the people I was watching online and all the content creators and everybody, Philip DeFranco, they had cameras and they were recording in these situations, and I could tell like that's what I wanted to do. And that dream has never really faded. And obviously 8th grade was a long time ago for me, but it's still a dream of mine. But we were exceedingly poor as kids. There was no way I could have afforded like a setup, and I moved a lot. I think I went to the tune of like 5 or 6 different high schools, and if you're doing things like that, you can't really settle down and even as a teenager sit down and make and produce content. So that was my good enough excuse, right? My family couldn't afford it, and we were moving around a lot. So when that promotion fell through, I started searching around for different job opportunities to kind of see what was out there and see if maybe I could find something better. And I found my current job, but it would be a bit risky since I was going to have to move yet again to another city in Texas, kind of in the middle of BFE. But I was confident that I could do it and I could make money doing it. So my wife has always been sort of the smart one in our relationship, and she said, you can find something new, but please, give us some time, kind of like don't rush through this, and let's save up some money and, let's think about this. Like, let's not just leave what you have right now. This is a good gig. But I was afraid. And I was stupid. And I was afraid that if I didn't act soon, I would lose on this job opportunity. And then there wasn't going to be another one. So I kind of pushed ahead with it anyway. And, well, it turns out that moving is far more expensive than I had realized. Even just as the several hours that we had to move, it was very expensive to move out of the lease we were in into a new lease, and moving trucks, boxes. There's a lot more into it. Down payments are never cheap. We used every dime of our savings and then went into a little bit of debt to cover the rest. I actually have a picture of us counting the last of our quarters on our brand new kitchen counter, which is, I thought, was kind of like this weird dichotomy of this like brand new place with the quarters on the counter, and just how close we had really cut it and just barely made it. So after I started making money at the new job, I was like, well, let me get my first serious check and let me, kind of get settled in and get into the groove of things. I still want to be good at my job. I don't want to fuck things up where I'm at. So let me get settled in and get everything lined out first. So I went back into the same groove that I've always gone into, and I had once again found my good enough excuse. I wasn't setting out to create content. I wasn't setting out to do what actually made me happy, and that's making content. That's what I live for. I want to be an online creator. And I'm not totally sure what I was waiting for, because my cost of living is lower, my pay is possibly higher depending. I'm making good money, so then I rearranged my spare room so I could record. As you can see behind me, this is just a spare room that I have in the house so that I could record, and I did. And well, no one watched. It's the way it goes, right? There's a lot of content to consume on the internet. I'm just one of them, and I don't have the same production value as some other people. So I sat back, and of course I was discouraged. I just moved my family several hours away and completely uprooted myself, and changed everything about my life. And for what, right? So to fail, to throw it all away, and there it was, right? There it was again, like that good enough excuse that the online ecosystem is so proliferated with beautifully intelligent, amazing content creators, that what's the point of me making content if there's a nearly infinite amount of content to consume out there? I have a stable job. There's no reason I couldn't just go back to that. But I'm not going to. I'm going to pursue this with a vengeance. I'm going to continue to press on. I'm going to continue to make content. I'm going to continue to push forward. And if you watch this, and I hope you do, I hope there's one thing that you take away from this, and it's don't take that good enough excuse. There's always going to be a good enough excuse not to do something. But sometimes you got to go a little bit further than that. You should find a good enough excuse on why you should do something. Don't give up on what you want to do. Don't go all in, because right now I could quit my job and push forward and just throw all my eggs in this basket, and I don't think that's wise either. But you should still make time for yourself and do what makes you happy and fulfills you emotionally, and not just in a way that is involved into the rat race and paying bills and paying for your house. And you got to find time to do what makes you happy. Thanks. I hope this made any fucking sense. Bye.